My name is Cleo.
The story of Cleo Smith is almost too improbable to believe. For more than 2 agonising weeks, the nation held its breath, fears growing every day. Then, the palpable collective relief at the news of her rescue.
Police have made a major breakthrough and have found Cleo Smith alive.
But now, despite being safe at home with her family and said to be back to her bubbly self, concerns for Cleo's well-being remain.
Of course, we don't know what she's been through, so that's the first thing we should note. But it's important to note that everybody has a different reaction to things that are potentially traumatic, and it's very likely that she will be having a range of experiences, not of which will all be traumatic.
As the man charged with Cleo's abduction sits behind bars, 4-year-old Cleo will soon have to tell her story to investigators, while facing intense media scrutiny that is unlikely to ease. It's natural for us all to feel a deep investment in Cleo's story so far and this important next chapter. But the pressure that comes with being at the centre of such intense focus, even if it's with the best of intentions, is impossible for most to comprehend and could make an already difficult situation worse.
It's going to be very hard for her to just integrate back into having a normal routine and so on. So the more that the community can support the family, give them some privacy, give Cleo some privacy so she can go back to normal life, that would be really, really helpful.
And the trauma may ripple outwards as kids across Australia absorb the details of the case. For many parents, the question is not just how do we protect our kids from such horrors, but how do we talk to them when they dominate the headlines?
Well, Dr. Michael Carr-Gregg is an author and child psychologist. Thanks for talking to us tonight. Obviously, watching the news is a family ritual in many households, so too talking about what's in the news. How should parents navigate this with their kids at the moment?
Well, I've always believed that children under 5 should be allowed to grow up knowing the world's a safe place. So I think exposing them to terrorism, natural disasters, violent crime, famine can be a little bit of a cocktail of negativity for them. And in fact, Beyond Blue make a recommendation that it's a good idea for kids under 6 to not watch the news.
Well, obviously, Michael, every parent wants their child to be aware enough of risk, but no one wants them to be more scared than they need to be. So how do we walk that line when kids are under 6?
Yeah, well, look, I think that we can certainly use this as a teachable moment about talking to our kids about finding a balance between instilling sort of protective behaviours and creating a fear of all people. So I think we need to teach kids how to keep themselves safe. The reality is that a child is 26 times more likely to die in a car crash than be abducted. So we have to bear that in mind. But obviously a no secrets policy and essentially trusting your instinct would be part of the conversation.
Doctor, we understand that it may be specialists who speak to Cleo as opposed to police investigators or officers. What techniques do you think they will use to talk to her?
Well, 4-year-olds might struggle to process their own emotions or put words to them. So they love play. So toys like dolls or puppets can act as symbols. And as they play, 4-year-olds are obviously less guarded and more likely to share their thoughts and feelings. So I'm thinking art therapy, play therapy will be important components.
Cleo's parents, Ellie and Jake, have just released a statement and they're thanking everyone for their support, but they're also asking for privacy. This continued media scrutiny over the whole story is going to be so intense. How hard does that make it for Cleo's family to heal?
Look, it makes it pretty difficult, actually. Recovery takes time. So I would hope that they would be able to shield not only themselves, but of course Cleo from media intrusion. I want her to get back into her regular routine as soon as possible. And if there was a special holiday place that they'd normally go to, I'd be making a beeline for it.
All right, Dr. Michael Carr, Greg, thank you very much. And if any kids are in need of help, crisis support is always available, of course. The Kids Helpline is 1800 55 1800.